All right, guys, so I'm here with the guys from one of my favorite bands. I remember talking to these guys last year, and here they are with their new album. American Authors is here in studio. All right, guys, American Authors joining me. So congratulations, guys. You've had all this success. You had the Song of the Summer. Don't look at the monitor.
Sorry, I can't help it.
I see you looking at yourself.
I've been sweating all day, so I'm like, how do I look?
Oh, my gosh.
I'm looking right at your eyes, dude.
I got you. Can't have a monitor in the room with the guy.
I'm still sweaty from like the car ride over.
You see what fame has done to you, man? You see what fame has done to you, James?
Just looking
in the
mirror.
Like the nicest guy, and now you're like, you won't even talk to me once you look at himself. He's like, God, this is what happens when you get a second album. You have a hit song.
Look, man, I got you, dude.
I take
still
Ubers
the same old guy right here.
Yeah. Fame hasn't changed him. As we were talking about our earlier game of, I have a whole reality show pitch that I pitched to these guys.
Don't even bring it up. Don't even bring it up.
I might never have a TV show again after I pitched, so I can't share it with you guys. But it was awesome. Guys, congratulations. When I talked to you last year, best day of my life was the Song of the Summer. We were talking all about it. Now you have a new album out. Tell me all about the new album.
New album came out July 1st. It's called What We Live For. We're just so excited, man, because we were touring for so long, like 2 to 3 years on the first record. So to actually go back home to Brooklyn and start working on a second album was a lot of fun. And you know, we didn't really get off the road. We were still doing a few shows a week while we were recording. And over the time span of a year, we came up with a product and a piece of work that we were just so excited and proud of. We really feel like we've really grown as musicians and as people and as artists and songwriters, and we feel like this is some of the best songs that we've ever written, some of the best music that we've ever created.
So you come off a hit song, obviously Best Day of My Life, one of the biggest songs of the year. Is there pressure coming off of something like that where you're like, holy crap, this next album's got to be really strong?
Yeah, there's honestly a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
It takes a while to figure out, like, once you get back around to it, you're like, what am I trying to say? Who am I as a person? What's happening in the world around me? And trying to figure that all out again takes time. So
It's strange because, you know, music is changing so fast these days that for us, you know, our influences, they may not be the exact same as where they were 3 to 4 years ago. And we're definitely not the same people that we were 3 to 4 years ago when we first started the first album. So for us, it was, you have the pressure from Best Day of My Life, but then also it's about being true to yourself as an artist, as a musician, and trying to stay true to what American Authors is and was, and also being able to grow and express yourself freely as who you are today.
It's not like you guys had this success. It's not like you're a teeny bopper, that you're 15, all of a sudden you're the next Justin Bieber. You guys had to grind and hustle till you finally had that hit and really began to move units. Now that you have that success, how does it change your perspective on the music world? How does it change your perspective on where the band goes from here?
You know, we're just so excited. It's crazy because you have your entire life to write that first single. So I think for us, we're just so fortunate, and we did work really hard. You know, I would say like we feel lucky, but we're not lucky because we put in the work and we put in the time. So for us, we're more thankful. And I feel like that just kicks our work ethic into just overgear, like all the time. You know, we're always stoked to be touring and performing and writing. And even now that we have an album out.
Yeah, you were just telling me you came from Kingport, Tennessee. I'm like,
yeah.
How long are they here for? One day. I'm like,
yeah,
oh, enjoy it here in the studio with me.
And it's like, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, it's like we still love doing interviews. We still love working and writing. And I feel like I was with a friend last night, and I was showing them all these new songs that we'd just written in the last couple weeks. That just even post-album, it's like, oh yeah, here's this new song that we wrote last week. Here's this song that we wrote the other month. And now we're getting this person to sing on this song. And it's like, wow, it's like we're still creating. It's just, this is what we love to do. So,
you know. It's interesting. I always think about it because we've been a band for almost 10 years. And that is a long time. Coming up in January is when we met 10 years ago.
That's crazy, man. And in band years, that's like 1,000.
It's not like we came from like this YouTube background where then all of a sudden all these famous songwriters are writing songs for us. We've always written our own music and our own songs. And we've hustled so hard. We spend so much time in New York just being poor, broke musicians, and getting to this point, you know, and it's not like our parents are famous or something like that. Like there's a lot of people in LA or New York where they come from these famous, rich backgrounds, and it's like none of us have that. So we had to hustle, grind, do this all the old-fashioned way to get where we are. And so we're really proud of this album. We're really proud of everything we've done. So
speaking of being really proud, you guys are performing at the DNC this week. How cool is that? Like, I'm from Philadelphia, so I was in Philly this weekend. The DNC has completely taken over the city.
I'm sure.
How cool is it to be able to perform on a national stage like that? I mean, you've done other national stages, but to be in front of the Democratic National Convention, it's got to be crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a dream come true, and it's an honor for us to be invited to play down there, and we're really excited. It's something that we're passionate about, and what a time to be alive right now with everything that's going on. So for us to be able to be a part of that, it's really an honor.
What do you guys think about this crazy election we're going through right now?
How long is this interview?
Fuck, knock yourself out. It's insane, right?
It's ridiculous.
It's so
really
crazy. So
ridiculous.
we're actually speaking on one of the panels, and it's all about how do you bring voters, how do you get people to vote, and how do you get people who are going to vote for Bernie to vote for Hillary now, and how do you bring all that about? And it's like in my head, and where we live in New York, and we're like, oh, everybody's liberal, right? We live in New York. Everybody agrees with common sense. And then you got to think, well, maybe we live in this bubble, and we have this bubble that everybody should agree with us. We're like, oh, he'll never become president, Donald Trump, all this different stuff. Then you got to realize, we do live in this bubble, and there's these parts of the U.S. that we see all the time.
You were just in Kingsport, Tennessee, guys.
We sure were.
That's a red state.
So they called us beforehand, and they were like, please, guys, no political stuff. Because we've released political things on there, We had this, we dropped the F-bomb to Donald Trump, and this chant we got going in Mexico. And it was awesome, because there was thousands of people there all screaming this. And so we released it on our YouTube and Facebook and our Snapchat and everything. And some of these festivals call us and please don't do this at our festival. This is supposed to be a non-political thing.
Right.
And it's interesting.
Have you ever violated that? So have you had something said to you, hey, please don't do X, Y, or Z, but then you do it anyway just because you're like, I want to do it?
Yeah, I mean, we'll do stuff when we feel like it.
Yeah, there haven't been that many crazy requests. It's I think the way to go about it is we're not really trying to offend anyone. We're just speaking our minds and speaking what we believe in, and for us, what we feel is right. For us, we have a lot of diversity in our band.
Right.
Our drummer comes from Mexican descent, and our bass player is Colombian, and so the Latin people, it's part of this band. It's part of where we come from. It's part of our family. So anyone who's going to speak up and say racist things or use bigotry towards a certain group of people, it's just, we can't stand for that. It's, I don't care what they're doing in a different platform or with anything else going on. I don't care how their business is. It's just if someone's going to speak like that towards a certain group of people, that's not something that we can stand for. And that's just one of the small things with that individual that we can't get behind. So obviously we're going to speak up and say something, but granted, we're going to just try to be as respectful as possible. I think that's what it comes down to, and that's what we need to be doing as a country right now, with everything going on, with looking at all sides and all backgrounds and all different diversities. That's what makes this country great, and I think respect is where it really starts.
When you look at what has happened for you guys over the last couple of years, again, performing at the DNC, such a cool, incredible opportunity. What's been the coolest moment or coolest person or something that you're just like, I'll never forget this moment the rest of my life?
If we get to meet Hillary,
that'd be great.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, if we could meet Hillary, Bill, or Bernie Sanders, that would be great. Yeah, that would be very exciting.
Bill's my all-time get, by the way, for an interview.
Best. Yeah, dude,
Really?
the thing is, Bill,
My number one.
they live up in Westchester where we record the majority of our albums. And our producers will see Bill Clinton around the town. And so for this last album, we were really trying to run into him to try to get him to do a saxophone solo on a song.
No way!
It didn't even matter. It'd be like, dude, doesn't matter what song. All you need, just play a solo. We can manipulate the key and the timing and
We'll write a
in
song
the
around
computer
it.
afterwards. Yeah, we'll write a song around whatever you
Coolest
play on
thing ever,
saxophone.
man.
So, but we've gotten to do a lot of exciting things. It's like from playing, award shows to stadiums to opening for some of our biggest influences, to traveling around the world, getting to go down and do some festivals in South Africa last year, and we've done a lot of great things, man. We're just trying to, live in the moment and take advantage of it all.
It's pretty amazing when you sit and you're playing a festival in South Africa and you look out and there's thousands of people here and you're thinking to yourself, how did I get here?
Yeah.
This is insane. A few years ago, it's we were making $12,000 a year, living in a tiny little apartment in Brooklyn. It's now we're here playing for thousands of people, and they are listening, and you can't even believe it. We were begging our friends to come out, not so long ago, being like, please, dude, I'll put you on the guest list. I'll buy you a beer. What will it take? Just come. So it's been so many moments like that.
Best day of my life. Did you ever imagine it would become the anthem that it did? I mean, it's still being played in commercials. It's crazy to see. You could hear that. There was a point where I think I heard that song 10 times a day, whether it was commercials or on the radio. Do you look back and say, "Wow, when we were making this song, I had an inkling that this would become what it became," or was it just a complete surprise for you guys?
Total surprise.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we didn't know what it was, man. We thought it was such a strange song because it was all these different parts from different pieces that we were working on, and then we just put them all together. And we just thought it was so weird, and we weren't sure how it was flowing at the time. And then even, we got picked up off of Believer, our song Believer, more so than Best Day of My Life. So for a while, we were really pushing Believer. When we were touring, Best Day of My Life was just this song in the middle of the set. Didn't really think anything of it until, from all the different commercials, it just started snowballing and growing and growing and growing. And then it was just kind of undeniable that this was the single. And it took off from there. So it was a really cool learning experience and really wonderful to see that song blossom and take off the way that it did.
Is there a song on this new album that you feel could have that type of resonating power?
I think right now, our favorite song, which is the single that we have out right now, is the title track, What We Live For. And for us, when we had this album, complete and finished, and we knew what songs were making it, this was still the song that we all felt 100% rally behind and go, oh yeah, this is the song right here.
When you're making an album, I have zero musical ability, so talk to me as if I'm a 6-year-old. Do you pretty much write the process? Is it, hey, I write 30 songs and we whittle it down to the 12 we want to use, but we know that these 6 are really the better songs? Like, how does it all work when you're actually writing these songs?
I know a lot of people that do it that way. I have really close friends that are artists, and that's exactly how they do it. For us, we do not do it at all that way. We basically write and record the album at the same time. So the first day in the studio, we might have like ideas from from before, just little ideas, but no like finished complete songs. And we kind of just get in a room and we show each other these ideas, and then we come up with stuff from scratch, and we all just collaborate. And it's such I think that's the coolest part about it, is we all can play each other's instruments, we can all sing, we all write music, and then just to get into a room together and just start creating from scratch as you go along is cool.
Well, Best Day of My Life went through like 10 different formations before it actually got to where it was. And it's the same thing now. You take a song and you write it and you listen to it and you say, wow, these really great parts. It's not right yet though. How do I make that right? So then we tear it apart, we put it back together, we tear it apart, we put it back together. Because we know you have a feeling there's something special there. I mean, you listen to like when Bruno Mars and what's his name wrote that song?
Mark Ronson?
Yeah, he goes, they go,
Uptown Funk.
He goes, we have 18 versions of it.
Right.
And that's kind of the approach we take.
It's incredible that people don't realize the actual grind and work that has to go into actually creating that final product. And like you said, it's like a piece of art. You touch each and every little color to make sure it becomes what you want it to become.
We have a lot of songs on this album that went through that. What was also really cool about this album that I don't know if a lot of people kind of understand is we had basically a full album, and our team said, this is really good, cool, you guys, why don't you take some time and you can chill before we'll start like touring on it and whatever.
Okay.
So we had these few months where rather than just kind of going on vacation and going our separate ways, we kept writing. And we kept getting up with our producers and new friends who were producers and all these different people that we've just known throughout the past years, and we just kept writing and writing and writing. And just through these last minute sessions, we came up with probably like 4 of our favorite songs that made the album. And we had to keep looking back and going, all right, well, this is now better than what we had over here, so we have to get rid of this and now put this on. Oh, now we have another one, so we had to just keep swapping out songs. So that was also a really cool experience. That was very different from this album versus the first one.
When you have success, do the opportunities to work with better people open up? So do producers that you may have never had the opportunity to work with now come out of the woodwork and they're like, hey, we want to work with American authors? How does it change your ability to make better music and have access to better things?
I guess they do come out. I think for us, we're always so focused on us as a group and us as a collective. We've always been so family oriented. So, we knew that we wanted to work with our two producers who were like our mentors from the first album. And then on top of that, with outside producers and new people that we brought in for this album, we really, rather than going out to these big people and putting the word out there that that's what we were looking for, we really just collaborated with friends. It was just kind of like texting our friends that we respected and that we looked up to, that we came up with from the bottom, and going out and working with them. And honestly, I think we got a much more organic and natural experience and vibe and product at the end of the day from working with these people that we've known for so long.
I love that you guys didn't go Hollywood after all that. I love it. You're exactly the same people you were last year, and it is so refreshing because, trust me, I've had people in a chair next to me from one year to the next, and it's like two different people. So it's really cool.
Like who?
You don't have to say names. Dude, you don't have to say names.
Just like I can't name the reality show pitch that I had earlier.
But you know what you could do?
I would bury myself if I named
Don't have to
people.
name them. What do the names rhyme with?
I will tell you a funny story without naming who it is, and you'll never be able to guess. There was a young actor that we had right before he had a hit TV show. And I ended up interviewing him on a red carpet like a year later, and it was like, the guy had like an entourage all of a sudden. He came in by himself the year before, and now he had like a publicist. Well, that's normal, but he had like bodyguards around him, and I'm like, holy shit. It's like, are you serious right now? And it's like, you're on a good TV show, but it's not like it's Empire or something.
It's not like it's
Right.
Vikings or something, am I right?
Like, we're all Vikings fans, by the way. Rollo and Ragnar forever, and Lagertha forever.
If I ever have a son, his name will be Ragnar.
Well, you know what the thing is, my man? For us, because we do, we have each other and we roll with a band, and we have our tour manager and our people that we tour with, we're all pretty big, burly dudes. It's like what you said, we're not young teenagers. Like, we can fend for ourselves, man. We get down. So we haven't crossed the bodyguard phase yet.
Well, we didn't.
You had to see it to believe. I'm not doing justice, but it was literally, I couldn't even get an interview with the person, and he like looked me off on a red carpet. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, you won't
that's
stop
a
for an
bummer,
interview?
man.
I'm like, come on. And that's when I was like, I'll never forget where I was like, wow, this is what fame does to certain people. So
Sure.
Well, we didn't, I think part of it has to do with, because we actually get that quite often. I think part of it has to do with that, like, we weren't 16 and then all of a sudden everybody just said yes to us.
Right.
When you're 16 and you're 18 or something like that, and then everybody's just like, oh, yes, yes,
you weren't
yes.
Bieberized.
Yeah, and it changes you, the way you look at the world and stuff. But we spent, like I said, so much time together in this little apartment with tons of rats and terrible, and like 4 people living in this tiny little 2-bedroom place, and it was terrible.
It's just we had to make our own
The best
future,
is, the best
That was
is
the
you've
thing,
got your
man.
publicist Jasmine on to the side over there, nodding
she's
yes to all this. She's like,
my
I've
God.
seen this
Well,
apartment.
but the thing is, but
she's
you know
like,
what?
I've seen.
Ages.
She's
That's
like,
the
I've
thing,
seen
man.
this apartment. I've seen this apartment.
But you know what it is, dude? The thing is, it's like even just going back to the family and the community and how we worked on the second album and all the music that we've done. I mean, we work with Jasmine not only because she's talented, but she was one of our first friends in New York City.
I remember, and she's the coolest.
And we've been hanging out with her, and when we had nothing, she was there working with us. She was there, one of the first people who believed in us, just when we were still struggling and not making any money or anything like that. She was there being like, hey, let me bring you guys out to this event. Let me bring you guys out to meet this person or this or that. And she was always there trying to help us. So it's like, we all came up together. Same thing. We all just came up together, like here in New York City working.
What's next? Now you have the album, you have hit songs. What happens next for American Authors?
Well, the new album, man, the new album just came out July 1st, and now we're touring all summer long. We got a big tour planned for the fall. Can't quite announce it yet, but it's for sure, and we're really excited to just be out on the road forever touring this album.
You guys are awesome. Congratulations on everything.
Thanks,
And
man. Much
I'm
appreciated.
so happy to see that you haven't changed. It would have sucked if you were dicks. All of a sudden you come in and like, remember how awesome those guys were? Now they're dicks. No, you guys are absolutely freaking awesome. So congrats. And everybody go make sure to check out their new album. They're going to be on the tour now and then obviously in the fall. Make sure to check it out. American Authors. Check out their new album.